Marquez's powerful comeback stunned his rivals and took Ducati management by surprise. This extraordinary performance is a stark warning that could be a major turning point in this season's MotoGP. Are you ready to uncover the dangers lurking behind Marquez's resurgence? Let's discuss. The 2025 season marks a significant turning point in Marquez's career. After years of injuries, loss of confidence, and difficulties with Honda, Marquez has risen again and returned to the pinnacle of MotoGP. His resurgence is no coincidence, but rather a combination of his hunger for victory, his perfect adaptation to his new bike, and the maturity he developed from his dark past. From the opening round of the season, Marquez immediately demonstrated his dominance in MotoGP. He achieved consecutive pole positions, won key races with convincing victories, and maintained his position at the top of the standings with an increasingly large lead. His rivals are left speechless by his consistency, as if Marquez has reappeared from his golden era of 2014-2019. The difference is that he's now riding the best bike on the grid and has far more experience and emotional stability. Once again, Marquez's name has been dubbed untouchable. Some observers say that the 2025 version of Marquez is the best he has ever been. However, this unbeatable status also has significant consequences. Every move, decision, and strategy he makes is now scrutinized, analyzed, and criticized more harshly than ever before. In this spectacular resurgence, Marquez is not only back in the lead, he's also become the center of the MotoGP world once again. A recent report raised concerns among various observers and former riders about Marquez's tendency to overreach on his motorcycle. Many believe Marquez needs to exercise restraint and stop acting as if he's immune to the laws of physics. This warning is not without merit. The safety risks to Marquez and other riders increase dramatically when he's overly aggressive and lacks control. One extreme maneuver could trigger a major accident and affect the entire race. Furthermore, his reputation as a MotoGP superstar is also at stake. When a rider is considered unrivaled, a single fatal incident could instantly shatter his image. From a technical standpoint, Ducati requires stability, consistency, and accurate data for developing the bike. A crash would disrupt the setup and alter the development roadmap, which could have long-term consequences for the team. Of course, the most important factor was Marquez's health. After years of serious injuries, another one could potentially threaten his career. A MotoGP doctor warned that Marquez must be in peak physical condition before returning to the track because his body has been subjected to extreme stress. These voices were not intended to restrain Marquez, but rather to remind him that glory is meaningless if his body can no longer withstand it. The injury he suffered at Mandalika was a major wake-up call that shook the entire paddock. It wasn't just an ordinary incident. It was the moment when Marc Marquez was forced to pause, curb his ambition, and confront the fragility of a human champion. He was sidelined for several weeks and missed crucial races that could have decided the championship. He even opted to skip the Valencia test to ensure his recovery was complete. It was during this time that Marquez truly realized that no matter how strong the body has been forged over the years, it still has its limits. A champion must know when to press the accelerator and when to apply the brakes to safeguard the future. This warning was not just for him, but also for the entire Ducati team. Even the greatest dominance can crumble in a matter of seconds, and a balance between performance and safety must always be maintained. If Marc Marquez wants to maintain his legacy as a MotoGP legend, observers believe that he must adapt his riding style. The extreme aggression that has become his trademark is not necessary at every turn, because the risks could far outweigh the benefits. They also emphasize the importance of consistency. Finishing a race consistently is often more valuable than forcing a victory that isn't crucial, and that could result in losing points due to a crash. Furthermore, Marquez needs to listen more to his team regarding data, tyre conditions, and his own physical condition. These factors should inform his decisions, not just how he feels on the bike. Finally, he must prioritize his long-term health. Returning too quickly after an injury will only worsen the situation. If Marquez corrects these issues, he could potentially enter the 2026 season as an even more formidable threat than in 2025. Ducati CEO Claudio Domenicali finally addressed Marquez's extraordinary performance and the risks that accompany it. In an internal factory interview, Domenicali said, "Marc is an incredible asset to Ducati. His speed, determination and instincts are unmatched. But we are also well aware of his history of injuries. We want Marc to win, not just today, but for the next 5 years as well. Therefore, we hope he can balance speed with wisdom." Domenicali added, "We were surprised and amazed at how quickly he elevated the GP25 to a level we hadn't imagined. However, to maintain this dominance, Marc must take care of himself. He's our greatest asset right now." This statement shocked the paddock, a Ducati boss acknowledging Marquez's dominance while also gently warning him. Amid his continued success, however, a dark shadow has begun to haunt Ducati headquarters. The declining performance of Francesco Bagnaia, the reigning world champion who appears to have lost his way. In his latest interview, Marc Marquez spoke bluntly and without pretense. "We need Pecco back at his best," he said firmly. This statement wasn't mere rhetoric or standard paddock diplomacy. It was both a warning and an invitation. Marquez understands that a major project like Ducati's can't rely solely on one rider, no matter how great his performance. Marquez needs a teammate and internal rival who can apply pressure, stimulate development, and provide technical insights that only a rider with Bagnaia's smooth, precise style can offer. Marquez emphasized that Pecco's presence at his best will be crucial to the development direction of the Desmosedici. Bagnaia is known as a highly sensitive rider who can read subtle changes in the bike's characteristics that most riders miss. For Marquez, such input can mean the difference between a merely fast team and a truly unstoppable one. Marquez believes that winter could be a crucial turning point for Bagnaia. It's a time when he can reset mentally, refresh his approach to the bike, strengthen his physical condition, and spend 2 full months researching and focusing without interruption. According to Marquez, Bagnaia needs more than improved performance on the track. He needs the courage to clear his mind of external pressures. "Sometimes you have to shut out the media, reset, and start from scratch," he said firmly. This advice feels profound and relevant, especially amidst the immense pressure currently bearing down on Bagnaia from all directions. Amid Marc Marquez's incredible rise and the heated dynamics at Ducati headquarters, one thing has become clear. This season is about more than just speed. It's also about balancing ambition, strategy, and the resilience of a champion. All eyes are now on how Marquez and Ducati will approach this crucial next chapter. Can Marquez maintain his dominance without sacrificing his safety or Ducati's future? Let us know what you think.